Before we dive into this emotional journey, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more exclusive celebrity updates and emotional stories that will tug at your heartstrings. Trust us, you don't want to miss any of the drama, so subscribe now and stay tuned till the very end. George Clooney and Amal Alamuddin Clooney have long been one of Hollywood's most beloved couples. With their whirlwind romance, spectacular wedding, and their even more iconic life together, it's easy to see why they are constantly in the public eye. However, not many know the behind-the-scenes turmoil George Clooney went through after a deeply emotional event in his life. For years, Clooney was known for his bachelor lifestyle, enjoying the freedom and luxury of his highly successful career. That is, until he met Amal, the woman who would turn his world upside down in the most profound way possible. Their relationship sparked headlines for being unconventional, fast-moving, and captivating. But while George had been the poster child for the carefree bachelor life, his relationship with Amal brought unexpected challenges. In this deeply personal revelation, George Clooney opens up about a time when he experienced an emotional breakdown, one that even he couldn't have predicted. He confesses how the fear of losing Amal brought him to his breaking point. It all began when the couple hit a rocky patch in their relationship. For the first time, George found himself unable to handle the emotional weight of the commitment he had made. In his own words, he describes a moment when Amal, known for her strength and independence, walked away from him during a critical period. For someone who had spent so many years evading emotional responsibility, this was an earth-shattering event. "I've always been the one to walk away," George admitted in an exclusive interview. "But Amal, she's different. She's smart, she's strong, and she doesn't need anyone to hold her hand. When she walked away, it was like everything I had built in my life came crumbling down. For the first time, I realized I couldn't just rely on charm or humor. I had to face my own vulnerabilities. It wasn't just a fleeting moment of fear." Clooney went through a deep emotional breakdown, one that made him question everything about his past, his future, and his identity as a partner. He recalls the long nights spent wrestling with his thoughts, unsure if he could live without the woman who had become his rock. What many people don't know is that George Clooney's life was deeply affected by Amal's presence. Not only did she steal his heart, but she also transformed his outlook on love, commitment, and family. However, George's early life had left him unprepared for the level of devotion that a deep, loving relationship required. He was used to being the center of his own universe, but Amal changed that. Amal's influence on him was undeniable. She pushed him to be a better version of himself. And yet, even with her support, George struggled to overcome his insecurities. When he faced the possibility of losing her, it was as if he had lost the very foundation of his life. He admits that this time was pivotal in his growth as a person. "There was a moment when I thought I might never get her back," he reveals. "I felt like I had failed, not just as a husband, but as a person. I was staring into the abyss, and I was terrified that I wouldn't be able to pull myself together." It was this period of intense vulnerability that led George to understand the true depth of his feelings for Amal. He had been trying so hard to keep up the image of the suave, cool guy who had it all together. But when Amal walked away, George had to face the reality that sometimes, love means breaking down your own walls and letting someone in. He had to fight not only for her but for his own emotional health. In one particularly painful moment, George shares how he experienced a sense of loss that he had never felt before. "I realized how much I depended on her," he says. "Amal had become my anchor, the person who made sense of the chaos of my life. And when she walked away, I couldn't help but feel like a failure. It was the worst feeling I had ever experienced." Clooney admits that this experience led to an emotional breakdown. He struggled with feelings of inadequacy, not just as a husband but as a man who had once prided himself on being independent and invincible. In the darkest moments of his breakdown, he found himself questioning whether he was capable of being the man Amal needed. "It wasn't until I saw the way she looked at me when we finally talked things through that I realized what she meant to me," he says with a heavy heart. "I couldn't lose her. She had become my family, my partner, my best friend." This devastating realization was a turning point for Clooney. It was the catalyst that helped him rebuild his relationship with Amal and, more importantly, helped him rebuild himself. George admits that their relationship hasn't been without its challenges. However, this experience of almost losing Amal forced him to look inward. He had to confront his own fears, insecurities, and doubts, and in doing so, he became a better husband and father. He shares how their relationship has since grown stronger. Amal taught me that love is not about perfection. It's about vulnerability, growth, and learning to navigate the challenges together. We've both been through so much, but we've come out stronger on the other side. George also reveals that their children, Ella and Alexander, have brought them closer together than ever. Fatherhood has been the greatest gift of my life, he says with a smile. I look at my kids, and I see the love Amal and I share reflected in their eyes. It's a love I never knew I could experience. This emotional breakdown was a wake-up call for George Clooney, showing just how deeply he loved Amal and how much he was willing to fight for their family. If you were touched by this story and want to hear more exclusive updates on your favorite celebrities, don't forget to hit that subscribe button now. You won't want to miss the next heartfelt story we have in store. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.